sounded like, Trevor Lawrence's long-lost cousin, because that's basically what they call Trevor Lawrence. He's the greatest prospect I've ever seen in my life. And Lawrence went on to, have a really good career at Clemson.
Right, he did.
Didn't win a Heisman Trophy, but he became the number 1 overall pick. He won a national championship. You had idiots in the media saying after he beat Alabama as a freshman that he should take 2 years off and then go to the NFL. Morons saying he should not play for 2 years and sit
there were
out
people that thought he should go play for the USFL or the XFL and he should leave college, make his money.
When you spell football with one O and you can't spell it, or you think it's spelled with a U because you're watching it in Europe, you shouldn't be commenting on stuff. And so, see, that's another dumbass comment by somebody that doesn't know anything about the game, because you don't get better unless you play. Nobody gets better sitting on their rear end, okay? I saw it happen to Michael Myers, and no, not from Halloween. I'm talking about in the mid-'90s, about 96 for Alabama. He was a junior college defensive lineman, completely dominant. You go back and watch Gene Stallings' last game in the Outback Bowl, he dominated. He was the defensive MVP. He signed with an agent the next year under Mike DuBose, and they had to basically declare him ineligible after the first game against Houston. He didn't play for the whole year. He ends up being a 4th-round pick, yet he ends up playing 10 years in the NFL. But if he had not sat out the whole year, dude was a top 10 pick. Okay, I'm sorry, but you don't get better, because it took him a while. It took him a while in the pros to get his feet, but when he did, he played a long time. But you don't get better sitting. It's the old Ralph Lewisism from the Huntsville flight. You don't make the club in the tub. Okay, that's basically what it is. You gotta make the team playing. You can't make the team over here sitting or under LeBron James load management. If you're under load management, then you lose more NBA finals than anybody in history.
Oh, that's why he's not in your top 5.
Not my top 15, and probably not my top 20.
Okay, different story, different day.
Yeah, whatever.
23rd ranked Wake Forest traveling to Nashville. No one's talked about this one, but Wake Forest does get their quarterback back. They're all ACC performer. They get him back this week. He was ruled to be healthy enough, or he cleared medical waivers or whatever he had to clear. He is back playing for Wake Forest, so they get a shot in the arm. They're 23rd ranked. They come to Nashville. Does the Commodores, who are off to an impressive 2-0 start, of course, albeit against Hawaii and Elon, does Vanderbilt stand a chance in this one?
Vanderbilt, this road trip is going to be interesting for them, because, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Vanderbilt is traveling to Northern Illinois this week.
No, Vanderbilt's at home with Wake Forest this week.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying, because I was trying to figure out when I was checking the schedule.
They're taking on 23rd ranked Wake Forest at home.
Okay, because I thought that was the next week. That's what I've been trying to figure out all week with these schedules that I was looking at.
No, they're at home. They're a 12.5 point underdog.
They're gonna have to go on the road the next week then,
right?
Because
they go on the road next week, but.
Yeah, okay, so that's where I've been confused all week, because I've been trying to figure out. I thought that because people forget, that's why I hate this week 0 stuff, because that's what I'm saying. Vanderbilt played in week 0. They were the only one to play.
Right.
They went to Hawaii and they won 63-10 or whatever it was. And so they dominated in that game. And so that's what's confused me all week, because it was 63-10 Vandy, and they call it week 1, but they're actually calling it week 0. And then in week 2, now they're saying, they're calling it week 2, and they're saying Vanderbilt and Wake Forest. But in week 2, they actually already played. They're 2-0. They beat Elon.
They've already played 2. Yep. So
that's what scrambled my brain all week, because I'm sitting here looking at the schedule. I'm like, can anybody count? Can anybody count?
We need to have it in week 1. It needs to be
when I click on week 2, it needs to tell me that they played Elon. It doesn't need to be telling me they played Wake Forest. And then you start thinking, well, I thought they were supposed to play Northern Illinois before Wake Forest.
Right.
But all that being said, no, Vanderbilt doesn't win. They're going to get whacked.
By Wake Forest.
More than likely. I hope they win, because the ACC sucks. I'd like to see Vanderbilt continue to score 30 and 40 points.
How do you really feel about the conference?
And then whip Wake Forest. But I'll just say this: it wasn't that encouraging last week. And I mean, again, you're coming down from a 63-10 domination on the road.
Right.
But they were at home against Elon Musk, and they only win like 42-31. And so, an Elon's an FCS program. And Wake is a lot better than Elon.
And Wake gets their quarterback back. The
Well,
quarterback,
you just mentioned
he's been out.
That he was the guy that led him to a 11-win season last year.
Yes.
So, and some had Wake as a dark horse to win the ACC this year. So, yeah, I don't like Vanderbilt's chances, even though they're hosting. Do I think they're going to get blown out? No. I think they can play a competitive game. I think they look much better offensively this year. But it kind of bothered me that, the Elon game ended up being competitive. I thought they would dominate Elon like they did Hawaii. And
should have.
I don't think this Vandy team is a great football team. And we didn't believe that from the beginning. But
no.
I think they've incrementally improved.
Keep in mind,
a little bit, but I'm still not sure that they're good enough to beat a ranked team like Wake Forest. And I'll be honest with you, I am down on the ACC, but Dave Clawson and what he's done with that program and what they have, the resource-wise, he's done a remarkable job. I mean, he's done a great job since he came there. They're almost like a Wake or like a Vanderbilt in the ACC. It's difficult to win. They don't have great facilities, but he's made them very, very competitive. And he has a great quarterback, and Mike Wright for Vandy's going to have another big game as a dual threat. But if Vandy wins this game, it's going to have to be a high-scoring game. It's going to have to be a 38-35 type game. But I like Wake.
Well, keep in mind too that the Vegas odds makers only projected Vanderbilt a 2.5-point win team. Or a 2.5 win total team.
They've already won two.
They've already won two. So is there another game in this schedule where Vanderbilt actually
probably
goes above
at Northern
2.5?
Illinois? Probably the next week.
Yeah.
Because when we were in Atlanta, that was kind of the deal. Like if they could find a way to put it together and win at Northern Illinois, and then if they could beat Hawaii and Elon, that was probably the 3 wins. Because this one right here was going to be tough.
Right.
But, if everything went perfectly, then, as we talked to Chris Lee, there was a minute chance they could end up 4-0. And what a story that would be, because if they were 4-0, they'd be heading to Tuscaloosa to get mashed, in their SEC opener.
Yeah, that one there.
Now, I'm not going to predict 59-0, but I'm going to predict a beatdown. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, does Dirt Neck beat down Appalachian State tomorrow?
Probably so. They're like a 19-point favorite. Appalachian, put a lot into that comeback last week. Now, would I be shocked if Appalachian, was able to somehow backdoor it? No, I wouldn't. Now, I don't think there's a chance that they'll win the game.
Right.
But, unless somebody pays off, the A&M defense not to come out the second half. And the way those guys take money, they might do it. They might have to play some walk-ons in the second half. I still think the weather delay last week wasn't really a weather delay. They were just waiting on, the collective to pay the guys so they'd come out in the second half. And while they were playing, they were probably playing cards in the locker room and spades and everything because they were pissed off that they hadn't been paid yet. Because, they're paying their best wide receiver $800,000 to not go to Alabama. So, that's what you have to do when you haven't won anything since they had bars on the helmets.
That's a little bit of our SEC preview, and we've got to get a break. We're live from Metro Diner because when we come back, David Lloyd's going to join the show. Oh, we got Ryan real fast. Let's get to Ryan. Before we go, let's get to Ryan on line 1. Good morning, Ryan.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I know you got to go. Quick question. I didn't even know about this record, but it may be irrelevant considering times are different today. But I had no idea until I looked into it yesterday. Our historical record against Texas is 1-7-1. Wow.
Yeah, the Longhorn fans, as the week has gone on, have started to bring that up, and of course, that Alabama still only beat them one time ever, and it was the last meeting in 2009. And if Colt hadn't got hurt, they would have won the game. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You could say the same. Alabama's saying the same thing, and I've said the same thing about the Georgia game, except the only fact here's the big difference: Alabama played Georgia a month before, and they were healthier and beat the ever-loving snot out of them. They had not played Texas yet. And guess what? The injuries to Alabama were legit. The injury to Colt was legit. And what do I think would have happened if Colt hadn't gotten whacked? I still think Texas gets beaten by Alabama. But see, what they don't bring up is Greg McElroy had broken ribs. What if he had been completely healthy? What if Julio Jones had been completely healthy? Come on. Alabama lost to Georgia. I've said that. You can't go back and change it. You can say that it's been proven that Alabama could beat that team because they won the first game. But again, you can't change the fact that they were leading in the fourth quarter and Georgia dominated the fourth quarter. It's just a fact. Georgia won it, and Alabama, won the national championship over Texas. And I know that Texas had a horseshoe up their rear end and beat Alabama several times. Before they met in 2009, and that was brought up a ton before that meeting. It didn't matter. Alabama won 37-21, and it sure as hell ain't going to matter Saturday when Alabama lays waste to them inside Darrell K. Royal Stadium, in my opinion.
With you and Stephen A. Smith, I think it's going to be a beatdown. Paul is wrong, when he says it'll be closer than people expect. But 2000 historical record, 1902 and 1915. It's going to be a lot different. That record means nothing.
Well, I mean, Texas has a pretty good football team, but they're not Alabama right now. And, again, they're certainly going to get Texas' best shot. We all understand that, but Alabama knows that. And this is Alabama's first road game of the year. This is a test that everybody's been talking about since this, contract was signed. And again, they know Texas is coming to the SEC, and then what you do is you send a message, this is what you're in for, guys, a lot of beatdowns. And you just drop an anvil on their head, and that's what you do. And then, I know that Steve Sarkisian, is very familiar with Alabama's program. He's an outstanding play caller. I think they can stay in the game with Alabama early. But if Alabama plays clean, doesn't get a punt block, doesn't make mistakes in the kicking game. Remember, last year, a big reason they lost to A&M was because they gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown. If you don't make mistakes in the kicking game and you don't turn it over offensively, Texas has zero shot in this game. The only way Texas has a chance in the fourth quarter is if Alabama shoots themselves in the foot, makes mistakes in the kicking game, and turns it over offensively.
All right, Ryan, thanks for the phone call. Let's get that break in now. When we come back, David Lloyd set to join the program. 97.7 ESPN The Zone, live from Metro Diner.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Couple of wrecks we're trying to get clear. Seegers and Old Highway 20, that one reported with an injury. And Parkway and Bob Wallace, they did move that one to a parking lot quickly, so really no major problem there. Traffic heavy, you be careful on that ride in. Why not get healthy where it's cool? Become a YMCA member and enjoy over 200 group classes, swimming pools, awesome fitness equipment, and free child care. The YMCA, Huntsville, and Madison will keep the air on for you. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane, Popeyes, Skywatch Traffic Center.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Check
out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey Wes, we show up.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in and trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed a 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
This is Chuck Oliver. Listen to me coming up at noon today. Now, back to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, welcome back. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, Metro Diner, the latest zone deal, $50 worth of food for $25 to Metro Diner. We're here live on the one along Highway 72 in Madison, and we just noticed for breakfast, you can get a pulled pork pancake stack. It's got pancakes with pulled pork and an egg on top of it. That is the newest creation here
I just
at
say,
Metro Diner.
Don't forget the pumpkin spice waffle, man. Candy pecans and cinnamon butter. It's outstanding. They do the pancakes that way too.
I'm just going plain pancakes today, but I'm intrigued by this pulled pork pancake stack.
It scares the hell out of me.
Anyway, what may be good, what may be good, and
it's probably good.
I know this next thing is going to be good, and that is the play of the Randolph Raiders tonight. Hopefully it'll be good as well as the food here is at Metro Diner along Highway 72. You got another great game. 7 o'clock, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. That's the home for the Randolph Raiders tonight. So you can catch that over the airwaves as well as on Zone 3.
Yeah, Dawson Coletti and myself will be calling the Randolph Raiders. They are ending a 3-game homestand at Sports Med Field. This will be their 4A Region 8 second football game. They're coming off a region win last week, 55-0 over rival JP2. Some things to clean up, but certainly some momentum, a 2-game winning streak. And now they take on the North Jackson Chiefs, who scored a lot of points last week in a loss, 55-39 to Louis LeBlanc and the Westminster Wildcats. But for our weekly visit, we always enjoy catching up with David Lloyd, the head coach of the Randolph Raiders, and he's with us this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good, man. How are you guys doing?
We are
doing real good, Coach.
We're doing really good.
We got breakfast this morning, so we're
Scott's
doing
got pork
good.
and pancakes on my mind right now.
We're fine.
Yeah.
If you're set up at the Metro Diner, you can't go wrong there. That's a good move.
Oh no, it's no doubt a great move. And speaking of good moves, your football team, really good defensive performance last week, Coach. I know you didn't get off to the start you wanted to offensively. Had to kind of gain your footing by the end of the first quarter. A good plan by JP2 defensively early, and your kids, had to step up on defense. But William Collins, your defensive player of the week, played really well at the Mike linebacker spot, and your defense really, except for a couple of penalties in the first quarter and really the first half, almost played flawlessly, played very, very well for 4 quarters last week.
Yeah, they did. They've been playing really well. It's second week in a row. I thought we played well and made stops when we need to. We've done a good job of creating takeaways. I had a fumble recovery Friday night. And they stood tall when we needed to. Didn't give up any first downs. Most of the first downs we gave up were due to penalties. Had a rough the passer call that gave them a first down. We need to clean up some penalties offensively. We did start slow, mainly because we kept kind of shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit. You can't play good football teams and have that many penalties and play behind the chains to have a chance to be successful. So we got to clean that up this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach, how do you clean that up? I mean, obviously you address it in film or you talk to the guys about it, but we hear coaches talk all the time about, we got to clean up the penalties, but how do you go about trying to do that?
You try to create as much adversity in practice as you can. We had a couple of false start penalties, offsides penalties. So you try to work that in as many drills as you can in practice, and then show them as many looks. For us, I would say the majority of our penalties were mental errors. We just weren't locked in all the way. We were maybe zoning out. We weren't thinking clearly, doing the things we need to do. So you try to zone that in as much as you can. Watching film and just try to talk to your players about how these penalties hurt you as a team. You want to stay on schedule offensively, so we want to stay ahead of the chains. It's hard to play, 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 20 because of penalties. Not a lot of calls on the play sheet for 3rd and 25. So you want to make sure you can stay on schedule. And to me, that's just part of the game plan. Here's what we want to do. Here's how we want to do it. And here's how we can be successful. And our guys understand that. They know that we weren't very clean as a football team Friday night. I think that's a point of pride for our guys to try to come out and clean that up this week.
Well, and Coach, unfortunately, football, there are injuries in the game, and Thomas Van Offeld, the junior, has played well for you. He goes down early, but it creates opportunities to develop some depth in your program, and it gave a guy like Theo Reischauer, what a performance by that young man, also a junior. I thought he really stepped up, and there was no drop-off defensively by your guys.
No, right, and Vaughn's been a great player for us this year. He's a first-time starter for us. He's done a phenomenal job. We hated to see him go down. He'll be out a few weeks, but he will be back, of course. So he's going to do a good job getting those guys ready that has to play his spot until he gets back and healthy, trying to coach them up and do what he can to help our team. Theo did a great job coming off the bench and filling that position, and it's always good when you get an opportunity to play some guys and they show up and do the things they're supposed to do. So I think it's a testament to our coaches, that we can play the next man up, and it doesn't really change what we need to do game plan wise. We can just plug a guy in, he can fill the position and do a great job. But Theo did phenomenal for us. I think he came in and had 6 or 7 tackles, a couple of big sacks, of course, that really helped us out defensively. Another kid that played that position is Park Strickland. We're hoping both of those guys get a chance to play a lot of snaps tonight as well.
Yeah, Park, just a sophomore, and what a job he did, number 40 in your program. And then, of course, I think your D-line, has been really an underrated part of this, defense. I know we always talk about William Collins, and that you have 2 great players on the back end of your defense, including, the quarterback of the secondary, Connor Goodson, but Grayson Davenport, great player too. But I really think over the last couple of weeks. We've seen George Jennings play really good football. We've seen Finn Dwyer. And also, when you get a lead, you get a chance to play a lot of young players. And I'm going to tell you what, we really called Bradford Hall's name quite a bit late. And that young man, I know he's just a freshman, but that really shows you what the future of Randolph football could be.
Yeah, I mean, I think our defensive line has played great all 3 weeks, really. Coach Salter does a really good job of getting those guys ready. And Coach Matthews got a really good scheme on defense. Those guys are active. They do their job, and that's why we're able to call William Collins' name a lot. Those 3 guys up front are doing a great job of doing what they need to do and making sure that Collins can get through and make the read. Same with Daniel Martin. But, yeah, George Jennings has played great for us. Eli Isbell at nose has done a phenomenal job. Finn Dwyer, we're able to rotate in. Luke Miller, Davis Killingsworth. Those 5 guys are really kind of our rotation, and we feel comfortable with any of the 5 in there. But they've done a great job. They understand our defense. They understand what we ask them to do, and they do it at a high level. It was good to see Bradford Hall get in at linebacker. He's going to be a player for us down the road. He's just a freshman. Once he really understands the defense and what we're asking him to do, he's only going to get better. And man, you said it earlier in the show, the only way to get better is to play. So it's really good that we can get our young guys in and get those experience in a varsity game and get those snaps in so we can develop those guys and get them better. And we enjoy seeing our young guys go out there and have success. And man, they've earned the right to get on the field, and we're happy when we get a chance to put them out there.
Well, what is tonight in store for you? What's the outlook for tonight?
Man, it's always a tough game when you play North Jackson. They got a lot of tradition there. They're always a physical football team. They're always going to show up and give you their best game. They had some turnover issues last week. That game could have easily gone the other way. They're a good football team, and we're happy to get them at home. It's tough to go over to Stevenson and play there, so we're happy to get them at home. But, man, they're always going to play you tough. You're always going to get the best version of who they are. They're a good football team. They're well coached. Coach Hollis has done a great job. We're going to have to execute at a high level tonight to hopefully come away with a win at the end of it.
Yeah, they were a playoff team last year, Coach. I know they got some talent in the backfield. Good tailback, and defensively they got a good middle linebacker. But speaking of you guys offensively, Andrew Hunter, especially those last, the second and the third quarter, what a performance by him, 9 of 15, 200-plus yards. And just another really good performance by your senior quarterback. And, of course, Death Taxes and Nick Strong, what he does for you as a receiver and runner. Those 2 guys, as usual, do their jobs last week.
It's always great to have those guys playing consistent football week in and week out. You can count on them to go make plays. We'd like to see Andrew get locked in a little quicker this week. Took him a little bit, and, that's hats off to JP2. They came out with a pretty good defensive scheme and a good plan. Took us a little bit as players and coaches to adjust to it. Once we did, we were able to get things rolling. But I think we missed a few things early, and I think Andrew would tell you the same thing. So we're hoping we can get him locked in early. We want to get it going, especially the run game. We want to try to get it going a little bit better. We were able to run the ball a little more successfully as the game went on last week. But we'd like to establish that part a little earlier in the game, with Nick and David Cleary or Daniel Martin, whoever we need to get going back there. But we'd like to start early, and faster than we did last week. But, Andrew and Nick they're as good as it gets. We're really happy they play for us. They do a great job. We know those guys are going to make plays. And it's just our job to figure out ways to get them the football and let them be who they are.
Well, Coach, I know you mentioned that you want to start a little bit faster, but it seems like when this team gets going, the ability for this team to get going, when you guys get playing downhill, this team can really get into a groove and play at a high level.
Yeah, when we get rolling, good things happen. I think we had, maybe 4 one-play drives, I think. When things get going well for us, we can kind of make some good plays in bunches. And, I'm an offensive coach, so I probably talk about our offense a little more than I do our defense. But, the reason we can get into those grooves and do those kind of things is because our defense is throwing so many 3-and-outs. or they're creating a big way to give us the ball back. We get a fumble recovery in really good field position for us. Or we do a great job of getting us back or a loss of yardage. They've got to play behind the chains and punt from their own territory, which gives us good field position. So we're able to do the things we can do on offense because our defense is playing so well and allows us the opportunity to get another chance and try to score. So they do a phenomenal job on that side of football, and, it allows us the opportunity to kind of create some momentum. Nothing's better for us than, we get a sack on third down, they punt, and we can hit a big play for a touchdown. Just the momentum that creates, getting to stop, and then a quick score right after it. It's great for us. It's great for our team. Brings a little juice, a little bit of energy, get your guys going a little bit. And, momentum's a big deal and a big thing. And thankfully last week we were able to get some of going in bunches a little bit. So we're hoping we can do the same this week.
Yeah, we certainly are. We're hoping for good weather and great environment again at Sports Med Field. It's been an outstanding one. Great fan support the last couple of weeks. And Coach, it was great to see your young quarterback, William Mitchell, get in there and play well for you as you took control of that game. Noah Gaunt, big 40-yard touchdown catch. And you already mentioned Clary. Really no drop-off at running back. He really produced. It was good to see a lot of those guys get a chance to play and perform because they work hard.
Yeah, and I mean, they work hard during the week, just like our varsity starters. Some of our guys are just young and inexperienced, and you want to get them on the field and get that opportunity for them. A lot of those guys play some special teams for us, so they're able to get on the field. But to see them in an offensive and defensive role and to watch them be able to just get an opportunity to do what they've worked for. They practice all week. They practice hard. They do a great job getting our varsity guys ready for Friday night. They've earned the opportunity. So we're able to get our younger guys in there. We're going to run the offense. We're going to run the defense. We had several guys step up. William Mitchell looked great at quarterback. He's going to be the guy once Andrew graduates. William's going to take over at quarterback. And to see him come in and lead our offense and march us down the field for 2 scoring drives was really great to see. I think it does a lot for him, his confidence and his ability to get in and play some varsity reps. Noah Gaunt makes a big-time catch for a touchdown over there. He's going to be a receiver for us. And then to see some guys, Thomas Cruza came in at linebacker for us on defense, did a phenomenal job for us, made some plays, did a really, really good job for us. So guys that don't necessarily get a ton of snaps every week really came in and played very successful and executed at a high level. So we're excited to see that, with those guys. And we hope we get a chance to try to keep getting some reps for them, whether it be JV games or some varsity games. But we're really excited to see the success for our younger guys. Man, they love it. They love playing on Friday night. To get an opportunity to go score or get a sack or get a big stop does a lot for them.
Yeah, there really is. Well, we look forward to the game tonight, Coach, and we appreciate the time as always every week and you to talk some Raider football this morning. And we look forward to being out there at Sports Med Field for a great environment and a great 4A Region 8 matchup, and hopefully a 3-game win streak after the North Jackson game tonight.
Man, it should be a good game. Should be physical. Like I said, North Jackson's always going to give you their best, so we're looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there, and hopefully we can execute and play a pretty good football game.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Let's get that break in real fast. We're live from Metro Diner on the flip side, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Couple of wrecks we're trying to get clear. Seegers and Old Highway 20, that one reported with an injury. And Parkway and Bob Wallace, they did move that one to a parking lot quickly, so really no major problem there. Traffic heavy, you be careful on that ride in. Why not get healthy where it's cool? Become a YMCA member and enjoy over 200 group classes, swimming pools, awesome fitness equipment, and free child care. The YMCA, Huntsville and Madison, will keep the air on for you. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane, Popeyes, Skywatch Traffic Center.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
What can you expect when you shop for a firearm at Bullet & Barrel? Expect great prices. We specialize in quality over quantity. Expect great service. Our professional sales staff is never pushy. We won't talk you into something that doesn't fit your needs. You have the right to make a smart, informed decision. Expect Bullet & Barrel, Alabama's only 5-star indoor shooting range, to support you after the sale. Bullet & Barrel, 3252 Lehman Ferry Road. Like or follow us on Facebook. Come see us soon.
Here's something to get your tailgating in gear this football season. Brooks & Collier have the perfect selection of outdoor furniture for your dream backyard. And the biggest selection of grills from Big Green Egg, Traeger, Blaze, Memphis, and Montalpi. Football season is grilling season. Lucy and Ivy, they're just waiting on something to fall off the grill. And remember, you could qualify for 12 months deferred interest with Synchrony Bank. Brooks & Collier, 813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TAXI for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TAXI for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TAXI.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We're live. Metro Diner, Highway 72 in Madison. Our good friend Jonathan joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Tableside as we talk Metro Diner. We want to figure out.
Good.
Yeah, well, we want to figure out though, what is this pulled pork pancake stack?
It's a new creation that we got. So right now we're going hog wild. That's one of the things that we got going on. So we've got several pulled pork creations going on, but that one it's very creative, and it's actually really, really good. So you get your 2 pancakes, then we slap some pulled pork in between the 2, and then a little bit on top. Some spicy honey with it. You get an egg on top of that. I know. It's heavy, but it's delicious. It is really good. But if you're intrigued by that one, then check out the quesadilla. The quesadilla is the #1 seller that we have right now as far as the pulled pork goes.
The pulled pork quesadilla?
Pulled pork quesadilla, yes, sir. That comes with pulled pork and macaroni and cheese inside of that quesadilla.
Oh, man. I got to tell you, though, I tell you what's really good, and it's at the top of this board right here, that pumpkin spice waffle.
Yes.
I mean,
there's
that thing is amazing.
Two things that let me know fall is here: football and pumpkin everything.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're talking about candied pecans and cinnamon butter. Holy Toledo!
And that also comes in pancake form, and we have a bread pudding as well. So.
Oh yeah,
pumpkin bread pudding.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Trust me, my friend Freddie Kirby got bread pudding to go.
I can't do all the. I'm not in on all the pumpkin stuff. I'm probably ruining a lot of people's day right now, but I'm just not in on all the pumpkin stuff.
It was amazing.
You can't be anti-pumpkin at this time of year, man.
What other good stuff?
Right now, so, of course, every time I mention, we always do our throwback anniversary.
Yeah.
And right now, our throwback is the chicken Parmesan dinner.
That's right.
It's going to be breaded chicken tenders, of course, topped with marinara, melted mozzarella cheese, on top of linguine with some more marinara and a wonderful, wonderful garlic bread served with it. And then we have another version of it, which is the chicken parm sandwich. Exact same thing, except no pasta going in a hoagie roll. It's pretty delicious as well. So
the chicken parm. Bringing back the chicken parm.
Yep, that's what we're doing now, and I believe the next throwback, I know everybody's really been on my case about this one.
Okay.
But the corned beef Reuben will be back very soon. Very soon.
There you go.
And if I'm correct on this, Jonathan, for everybody listening, everything he's talking about, including a Parmesan sandwich and the Parmesan dinner, chicken Parmesan dinner, all this stuff can be all day long.
All day long.
And dinner. Yes. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Full menu all day. Yep. You want to come in and get a pulled pork quesadilla at 8 o'clock in the morning, hey, we got it for you.
Man, I don't know. What was it that we were here? What was it the last time that we were here? It was, I forget what it was. It was like a combination of everything. I don't know about. Oh,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, man, there's been so many
I know,
of them.
but I don't know if I could do pork, macaroni, and cheese inside a quesadilla. I'm trying to decide about this pulled pork pancake stack, though. I mean, pork, pancakes, and an egg.
I promise you, you give it a try, you will like it. You will like it.
I mean, look at that quesadilla, Scott. That thing's as big as your head.
I know. It looks good. It sounds good.
Oh.
But you also have the traditional favorites, though, too. We talk about the new stuff, but the traditional favorites are
French
here.
Toast.
Yeah.
That's the bomb.
Yes.
And your chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits, they're all still here.
And we cannot, I know we do this every time, but we cannot mention the chicken and waffles without mentioning the strawberry butter.
Yes.
That is everyone's favorite.
But if you also want to come in and get a short stack, see, I'm learning restaurant lingo. Yeah. If you want to get a short stack, you can also, though, get the strawberry butter with the pancakes if you ask for it.
You absolutely can.
I'm just telling you, this cinnamon butter stuff is like life-changing, too. Because I had it last week.
Cinnamon butter.
I'm telling you, it comes with a pumpkin waffle.
It's delicious. A lot of times that's my breakfast in the morning. As soon as the biscuits come out the oven, I get a little bit of cinnamon butter and throw it on there, and that's what keeps me fueled for the rest of the day.
He gets the pumpkin pancakes one time. And now he is all in. Or the pumpkin waffle, he's all in.
Good, but I'm the pumpkin waffle was unreal, and the candied pecans too. By the way,
yes, add a little bit of crunch, that extra sweetness. That's one of the ones that you don't need to add syrup to.
Yeah.
Unless you absolutely want to, but then that's probably your sugar intake for the rest of the day.
It was for about 2 days for me.
Jonathan, I know the door's about to open. Let everyone know how the hours here at Metro Diner.
We are 8 to 8, Monday through every day. 364 days a year, all right, 8 to 8. You can come see us. Of course, as soon as those zone deals go live, make sure y'all get those because they sell out fast.
They do.
Especially since I've mentioned the Reuben, they'll probably be going even faster.
They go on sale now, right?
They are.
Right now, there it is.
See,
download it and come eat.
We whetted everyone's appetite. So, all right.
Thank you,
Jonathan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Hour 2 getting ready to start here at Talking Ball. Coming up next, live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Sounds like we may have a wreck in Limestone County, Zaner Road and Ripley Road. That one's coming in with injury and possible entrapment, so lots of emergency equipment on it. Everything else looks pretty good at this point. I don't see any other snags, just a lot of folks on the road. You be careful on that trip in. Do you know who to call when you need a heart doctor? You could write this name down now so you have it in the future. Dr. Randall Burns is at Huntsville Heart Specialist on Bob Wallace Avenue, where they have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms pretty much throughout the entire day. High temperatures expected to top out in the lower 80s for the afternoon. We will see peaks of sunshine here and there. For your Friday night, isolated showers and storms continue. Otherwise, we'll see mostly cloudy sky, low temperatures falling into the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Saints and Falcons kick off at noon Sunday to start the 2022 season. New Orleans a 5.5-point favorite on the road. The money line at minus 240. The Falcons at plus 242 is the set total. College football, number 1 Alabama will be in Austin Saturday against Texas. Coach Steve Sarkisian, recently an assistant under Nick Saban. Bama a 20-point favorite at DKR. Meanwhile, Auburn a 23-point home favorite against San Jose State. The Braves starting a weekend series at the Mariners. Atlanta minus 115 on the money line. Seattle minus 105. The over-under at 7.5. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 97.7ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, it is hour 2 of Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We're live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. They are this week's Zone Deal. That means all you got to do is head to WZZN.halfoffdeal.com. You get $50 worth of food for $25. You get 2 $25 certificates to Metro Diner. along Highway 72. And the best part about these are, as soon as you buy them, they go to your inbox and you can use them. You don't have to wait. You don't have to have them mailed to you. You don't have to
We've had
wait
people
a week.
do this already.
Yeah, you don't have to wait to take advantage of this deal. So that's about the best part about Zone Deals is as soon as you buy it, you can
Goes
use
live.
it. Yeah, you can use it. And so there you go. You can come take advantage of the pumpkin waffle or pancakes with the cinnamon butter and the candied pecans. I know. You keep telling me about it, but I am a creature of habit. When I get on something I like, I usually stay with it.
I'm just telling you,
that
you
is
would
the
like a
Western
pancake like
omelet
that.
with the pancakes.
Yeah.
For me, that is where I go. But anyway, it is this week's Zone Deal. Now, don't forget, coming up next week's Zone Deal is going to be Gunner's Landing Golf Course. You're going to be able to get a round of golf for two and a cart to Gunner's Landing Golf Course. That'll be next week. So make sure you take advantage of this week's Zone Deal, but then pay attention to next week. And then the week after that, we're not done with our Zone Deals. We're going to give you a round of golf for two to Cherokee Ridge.
Oh, Lord.
That's going to be $75. So the next 4 weeks, actually, we've got Zone Deals. But this week, it's Metro Diner. Next week, it's Gunner's Landing. The week after that, Cherokee Ridge. So I can tell you the Cherokee Ridge deal is going to be $75 for a round of golf and a cart for two.
Right.
So it's half off. So we've got all kinds of Zone Deals coming up here at 97.7 ESPN The Zone. All right, speaking of deals, we got college football coming up, and if you've made some deals with Vegas, you may or may not be able to afford some Zone Deals after the weekend. 12th-ranked Florida hosting 20th-ranked Kentucky. Florida 6.5-point favorite in this one. That's really, if you look at the SEC games, and I know South Carolina is on the road at Arkansas, but the Kentucky-Florida matchup, the premier matchup, really, I know Alabama and Texas, whatever. That's name matchup, but ranked matchup, what it means, conference matchups, Kentucky-Florida is this week's game.
It really is, and we're going to talk about that game and a few others with our next guest on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. He is a host and co-host with two other great men of one of the fastest rising national shows in the country. It's Crane and Company, presented by the Real Daily Wire. They do an outstanding job. He's been with us since, of course, he got into the radio business, and now it's evolved into a YouTube show that is on from 6:30 to 8 every Monday through Friday. They are now with you every morning on their YouTube channel with Crane and Company. And Jake Crane is now with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline to talk some college football. And we always enjoy our weekly visits with one of the best minds there is out there. Jake, welcome back to Huntsville with Drew and Scott. How are you?
Hey, guys. Appreciate y'all having me as usual. Appreciate the kind words. And, yeah, man, week 2 is coming like a speeding bullet. Got some good football tonight. Little UCF, Louisville, and even Boise State, New Mexico. So let's strap it up and find out.
Yeah, this Louisville team's kind of intriguing, isn't it? Because Scott Satterfield, as much hype as he had coming into Louisville, he's kind of facing a big, much-needed big season there in Louisville.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, going into the Louisville-Syracuse game, the coach on the hottest seat was Dino Babers. The minute they left, it was Scott Satterfield. I mean, and they just didn't lose the game. I mean, they got blitzed. I mean, Sean Tucker, who's an NFL running back for Syracuse, he's their best player, didn't even run for 100 yards. And you got beat by 24 points. Malik Cunningham's been at Louisville longer than Harry Potter was at Hogwarts. I mean, the fact that they can't figure it out this year is absolutely mind-boggling. But again, look, you have a chance to turn it around. It's early in the year. You're going to UCF. Louisville is an intriguing team. They should be very explosive offensively. And you wonder, there's a couple storylines going into this game tonight. Don't forget, Louisville ruined UCF's season last year. Last play of the game, Dylan Gabriel, I think, dislocates his elbow while throwing a pick six to lose the game. From one of the worst things that can happen together and really kind of derailed UCF's season. So now you're coming back to the bounce house, all right, where there's a lot of momentum at UCF right now, and they're going to be out for blood for what happened last year. But on the other hand, Louisville just laid a huge egg in week 1. While they have expectations, Satterfield, your head coach, is on the hot seat. You got a veteran quarterback. You got to come in and make plays. So it's a very interesting storyline going into tonight.
It really is, and then the John Reese Plumlee situation coming from Ole Miss to be the quarterback at UCF. We remember he ran for 1,000 yards 2 years ago for Rich Rod, but really never could fit into Lane Kiffin's scheme.
No, I mean, look, and he's a perfect Gus Malzahn guy with what he wants to do. I mean, he's an RPO king. You don't need him to go out there and be as accurate as Joe Montana to win you the game. He's not going to sit there and dissect coverages, the whole game and pinpoint you in different places. He's the guy that's going to go out there. You're going to have different options off of every play. He can tuck it every play. He can pick it up, look like he's tucking it, and fit it to a guy, kind of like we saw a little bit last night with Josh Allen and the Bills, what they tried to do at the goal line. Still ended up scoring. But it's going to be an interesting game. But John Reese Plumlee is a really good fit for what Malzahn wants to do. He puts a lot of different pressure on the defense from the perimeter to the interior. So I think UCF shouldn't have trouble scoring points.
How big is this one for Gus Malzahn? He came in last year, a lot of hype around Gus Malzahn coming out of Auburn. He loads up with the transfer portal last year, gets some Auburn guys. I don't want to say it didn't go bad for him at UCF last year, but I don't think it went as good as what people were expecting in his first year there.
No, and look, there were a few other things. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel getting hurt. Anytime your star quarterback gets hurt, it's going to put you in a bad position. You did have a lot of turnover with the new regime there. I think it's a great fit for Gus. And, the big thing with UCF is we already know they're going to the Big 12, but now you're just kind of auditioning for prominence, right? You want to make sure you go in there with momentum and looking good, whether it's winning the conference championship, and then winning a big bowl game or something like that. Gus Malzahn, they want to keep this momentum going because they've got it with the move that's upcoming, like I said, in a place that is unbelievably fertile to recruit and a campus that has a ton of students and has a chance to be really big time. So they just want to kind of keep the ball rolling. They've got another opportunity tonight in prime time.
Yeah, they do. And, Jake, I wanted to ask you about this game in the SEC. We saw the Gators in Billy Napier, Chapter 1. They beat the Utah Utes. I liked the Gators in this game the whole summer. They come through. They win it by a field goal. Now they're playing Kentucky, but I've liked UK in this matchup since the summer. With what they did against Utah, winning that game, and how Kentucky kind of struggled offensively, especially to run the ball, and with their running back room being depleted, what are you thinking about this matchup? The Gators being about a 6-point favorite in the Swamp over Kentucky.
Yeah, I locked this sharp up on Monday. I got them at -4.5.
Wow.
I think Florida has a chance to win this one, probably by double digits for a couple reasons. One, like you, I had Florida beating Utah. But when you look at Kentucky, people who had Kentucky going 10-2 and finishing second in the East, I think they really overlooked how valuable Wan'Dale Robinson was for Kentucky. He was the fixer. Third and short, you needed an outlet. He had you. You could get him on the jet sweep. There were so many vertical balls that Will Levis didn't throw great last year that Wan'Dale either ran down or came back and caught. That's why you're seeing him doing what he's doing in the NFL right now at that size. They love the guy where he's at. So, Kentucky last week, it's a little bit of fool's gold when you look at the final score. They struggled with Miami, Ohio for a while. It was 10-10, and it was a fist fight. Then all of a sudden, you get a pick six, and then you run the opening kickback of the second half to give you that cushion. Now Miami, Ohio has to start throwing the ball. Now, look, Kentucky did that, and kudos to them. But the odds of that happening every game are happening against Florida are very low. I think Florida's way more explosive on offense because Anthony Richardson was made by Tony Stark at some point in time years ago, which we're just seeing now. If Florida plays a clean game and they have one turnover or less and less than 80 yards in penalties, they probably win this game by 10+. I love taking Florida even at the -6.
Yeah, does Florida, though, how much of a letdown do you think they come off, though? I know it's a big game to get back up for Kentucky. It's an SEC opponent, so Billy Napier should have plenty of ammunition to get his guys ready. But is there a letdown, though, coming off that win against Utah?
Well, there's an old saying, sometimes prosperity is harder to deal with than adversity. So now, you've had a whole week. We just had Tom Luganville on the show. You've had a whole week of everybody patting you on the back and telling you how great of a job you did and how good of a team you are. Well, you got to be able to put that stuff aside and go out and play your best game. You haven't done anything yet. You haven't won anything yet. You haven't achieved anything yet. That's the mindset they need to have. They need to focus on Florida. The focus needs to be on Florida. That's the trick. The trick isn't, we're playing Bama this week, so let's get up and play our best game. That stuff naturally happens. Once you realize that it's not about the other team, the only thing that changes a little bit is the team you're going against, and it's about yourself, because football is just blocking and tackling. That's all it is. That's how you increase your efficiency. That's how you maximize the potential of a roster, and that's how you put together multiple seasons of high success.
We're talking to Jake Crane, co-host of Crane and Company from the Real Daily Wire. We're talking some college football. Jake, in the next game I wanted to ask you about in the SEC is kind of flying under the radar. I thought it was a really good win for them last week, though, against a Cincinnati team that, despite all the NFL losses, look like they got a good football team. South Carolina, they did not look great against a Georgia State team that's a pretty good football team in their own right that nearly beat Auburn a year ago. What are you thinking here with Arkansas hosting South Carolina?
Well, I think Arkansas is the third best team in the SEC, in my opinion. Still feel that way. They handled Cincinnati. Cincinnati did lose Desmond Ridder and two really good corners, but they brought back a really good defensive line and some pieces up front. And Ben Bryant can really sling it. Now, he missed some targets in the first half, kind of honed in that third quarter. But Arkansas, to me, with K.J. Jefferson, you look at the continuity, you look at them up front, the offensive line looks fine, the defensive line on the interior played a little better than what I thought they would. But I think this game is more about Arkansas just having a better roster overall than what South Carolina has. And I'm telling you guys right now, South Carolina's offensive line has a lot of question marks. Spencer Rattler still turning the ball over. Georgia State, which we know they beat Tennessee on the road and should have beat Auburn on the road last year, their sporty Sean Elliott does a really good job. I wouldn't be shocked if they beat North Carolina this weekend at home in the Dome. But when I look at this South Carolina team, I don't think they have enough weapons for 4 quarters against Arkansas, and I don't think they can play mistake-free enough against Arkansas to be able to win this game. Now, I will say this about Arkansas. You better protect K.J. Jefferson, because even during the Cincinnati game, he's still taking too many hits. I mean, last year he could barely survive the year because, yes, he's a monster in the red zone. That's great, but he still feels like every single play he's got to lower his shoulder and run somebody over instead of saying, you know what, it's 1st and 10. Could I scramble and make it 2nd and 2 right here and put my shoulder down and maybe make it 2nd and 1? Or how about I run out of bounds and it's 2nd and 3.5 or 2nd and 4? Those are the little decisions that are going to let Arkansas have staying power when it comes down to it.
Pittsburgh, Tennessee. This one's intriguing. Pittsburgh had a lot of emotion in the backyard brawl taking on West Virginia. They were at home, largest home crowd ever to see a Pittsburgh game. They put so much into it. They get a win. Now they get an SEC opponent in Tennessee coming to town. Tennessee nearly had this one last year. They blew an early lead. Pittsburgh able to hang on inside Neyland Stadium. Does Tennessee, the favorite, able to go on the road and win this weekend?
I do feel like Tennessee wins this game, but I'll say this. I always love games where you have two opposite identities fighting each other. So we got to remember, this isn't last year's Pittsburgh team. Mark Whipple's off to Nebraska, unfortunately for him. Kenny Pickett's off to the Steelers. Jordan Addison went out to USC. But the style is different. They're not going fast and passing to run the ball, using modified runs in the pass game to the running back, the quick game, even the intermediate game, to get in those 2nd and 5, 2nd and 2s, and shoot for the big play. This is a methodical, run-to-pass, pro-style offense that wants to control the clock and control the tempo and grind you down. They're good on the offensive line. They're good on the defensive line. Then you have Tennessee, who's the exact opposite. It's a Formula One race on offense. How fast can they go? How long can they go fast? Whoever controls the tempo of this game is going to win it. If Tennessee controls it and they're able to quick strike Pittsburgh and they get up double digits, and now Pittsburgh's got to get outside of what they want to do offensively, somewhat abandon the run, and have Keaton Slovis as a sitting duck back there in the pocket, that's going to be problematic for Pittsburgh. On the other hand, if Pittsburgh is able to keep Tennessee's defense out on the field and have success running the ball, and Tennessee's going fast and going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and then they score a touchdown, then 3 and out, 3 and out, and you look at halftime and Tennessee's defense has been on the field for 65 plays, that is going to pay dividends for Pittsburgh in the second half, because the depth on Tennessee's defense from a roster standpoint isn't still where it needs to be to run that style of offense, in my opinion. I do think Drew McCoy Cedric Tillman, the weapons that Tennessee has on the outside are going to be really effective. But Hendon Hooker runs for a couple touchdowns. Give me Tennessee to win this one.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup. It'll be a big win for Josh Heupel. And, of course, the big one of the day, Alabama, Texas. I've got Alabama covering. I still don't think Texas's roster is where it needs to be to compete with Alabama along the lines of scrimmage. Alabama's going to be a little healthier this week. They're going to get Cam Latu back at tight end. Alabama was very impressive. I think Utah State's still a bowl team. They're probably not as good as last year, but I think they they played at a very high level. Alabama did. They took care of Utah State. I think they're going to take care of Texas and cover. What is your thoughts?
It was Nick Saban in Austin with the Hatchet. It's going to be a murder. I'm just going to tell you guys. I mean, at one point in time, Texas is going to have 3 freshmen on the offensive line. Y'all have a better chance. There's a better chance of me building an iPhone from scratch than they do of protecting against Will Anderson and Dallas Turner and Jaheim Otis, who's still trying to stop Frodo from throwing the ring in the fire, or in the volcano. The dude's straight out of Mordor. I don't see a way. And unless Alabama just plays the worst game they possibly could, I got this as a sharp at 18.5 earlier in the week. It feels like stealing. I'm basically going to put the rent on it. I don't see a way in which Texas can slow Alabama down, and I don't think Bijan Robinson can witchcraft and wizardry his way around this Alabama defense. This may be the best team Nick Saban's had in a long time, and that's really saying something. I like Alabama big.
Wow. That's a big pick right there from Jay Crane. And finally, I wanted – Go ahead.
But if Alabama does win this big, Steve Sarkisian, I mean, last year Texas fans were not happy with year one, I don't think, because of the way that Texas performed. Texas believes they're back every year. If Alabama goes out and dismantles Texas like we think they will, like they should, what does this do for Steve Sarkisian? Where does it say about where this Texas program is?
Well, comparing any program really – with a coach in his second year to Alabama and what they've been able to build, I don't think it's fair. But they're going to be upset. They're going to overreact to it. We all know that. They'll start calling for Sark's job. But then all that does is increases the pressure on what you're going to do the rest of the season. How do you play against Oklahoma? How do you play in the Big 12? Are you able to get to a bowl game that matters and shows promise? All it does is increase the pressure, and there's already a ton of pressure at Texas. And when you have 9 people steering the ship, you really don't have anybody steering the ship. So while there will be pressure on Sark, I think they're going to be decent this year, decent enough where they see hope in the future. And you just got to get through this game healthy if you see Sarkisian.
And then finally, Jake, the final thought I wanted to get from you. You're still very close to that Auburn program. We saw T.J. Finley struggle last week a little bit against Mercer. Robbie Ashford, though, played well. They're talking about both of them playing again this week. And T.J. Finley is still considered the starter, though. But do you think we're going to see Robbie Ashford be the starter by Penn State, or do you think it's still going to be Finley and they're going to be rotating? What are your thoughts on the Auburn quarterback situation?
Well, we need more of a sample size, but right now the way it looks with an offensive line that's going to be average, what's one way to kind of hide that? You have a quarterback that can run, a quarterback that can put pressure on defenses where they can't over-rush the pocket. They've got to kind of slow down in the pass rush. That helps the offensive line. In the run game, the RPO and the zone read's a hell of a lot more dangerous with Robbie Ashford out there than T.J. Finley, who's about as fast as me. T.J. looked good the first 4 drives, but I think T.J. Finley is who he is. You're going to get a couple of bad mistakes. You'll get some good stuff, but he's not mobile. He struggles to extend the play, to keep the play alive. Robbie Ashford came in there, saw him throw a nice little deep ball on the skinny late in the game. We're going to know this weekend. I think this is an audition. I think they're going to try and let Robbie throw the ball around a little bit, see how well he does in the intermediate game, see how well he does in the short game, and see if he's serviceable enough to have somewhat of a threat to throw the ball where the run game can increase even that much more. But I tell you this much, it helps Tank Bigsby out a lot more having Robbie Ashford back there than it does T.J. Finley.
Wow. It certainly does, and that's Jake Crane, everybody. Great opinions, great insight. Please give him a follow. And Jake, tell everybody about you guys' daily show. It continues to grow exponentially in your new time slot. But let everybody know about Crane and Company.
Definitely, Drew. I appreciate it. I always love coming on with you guys. Y'all do a great job. But, yeah, just go to YouTube. Type in CRAIN and Company. We go live from 7:30 to 9 Eastern every weekday. We got a Saturday special we release in the morning, then a Sunday recap, breaking everything down and previewing the NFL game, talking a ton of ball. Just had Brett Favre on. Tom Luganville, got some great guests lined up as well. Just had our fantasy draft. All the Daily Wire hosts, so Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, and all them. We had a fantasy draft. My team is definitely the best. Off to a good start after last night, so come check us out.
Yeah, the real Daily Wire, man. Great stuff.
Appreciate it, guys.
Jay Crane with us, and don't forget, we are live right now from Metro Diner along Highway 72. It's this week's Zone Deal. WCZN.halfoffdeal.com. That's where you can get the best half-off deals. And right now, Metro Diner currently live for you to get. Visit 977ESPN.com and visit WCZN.halfoffdeal.com to get $50 worth of food for $25. That is this week's Zone Deal. So if you want to take advantage of that, feel free to do so. Let's get let's get a break in. When we come back, final guest. We're going to talk Alabama, Texas from a Longhorn perspective. Do they think they stand a chance?
Sounds like we may have a wreck in Limestone County, Zaner Road and Ripley Road. That one's coming in with injury and possible entrapment, so lots of emergency equipment on it. Everything else looks pretty good at this point. I don't see any other snags, just a lot of folks on the road. You be careful on that trip in. Do you know who to call when you need a heart doctor? You could write this name down now so you have it in the future. Dr. Randall Burns is at Huntsville Heart Specialist on Bob Wallace Avenue, where they have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com. This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now more of Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on your home for Crimson Tide Sports 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
Hi, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone, hitting you live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond entertaining you. We've got 30 more minutes left before we get to enjoy breakfast. I'm just going to say that. We're live from Metro Diner along Highway 72 in Madison.
Hey, and we got people listening, too.
Yeah, but this is the unfair part of the show is the fact that we tease this, we promote this, we talk about the food, we watch everybody eat, we see all these people come in here, they're ordering the waffles, the pancakes, the bacon, the eggs, the omelets, and we're waiting until 9 o'clock. That's the hardest part about this show is the last 30 minutes is trying to make through it because it's also a Friday.
Well, remember what we were promoting, though, with Jonathan. You can download the coupon and use it today.
Yes.
And we have two of my old friends over here, Cody and Megan Gardner, who were listening to the show and have already come over here and downloaded it and are taking full advantage of this big-time zone deal and having breakfast over here at the Metro Diner on Highway 72.
That's what you're supposed to do. We want everybody to do that. Now, here's the good news is you can use these Metro Diner coupons at either the Airport Road location or the one here in Madison. We're just come here to Madison because Jonathan is kind enough to get here at 6:15 to open the doors for us.
Mm-hmm. It was dark when we got here.
It is dark, and he comes in a little early, but the bacon hits the griddle there and gets going. But anyway, enough about Metro Diner. You can go there, get the deal. $50 worth of food for $25. Anyway, tomorrow, Texas is and Bevo and company. They've got an uphill battle. This has been an anticipated game for Texas ever since it popped on the schedule. Now, this is part of a home series. Texas will return the favor. They will come to Bryant-Denny Stadium, I believe, next year. Alabama travels to Austin this year. It's a 20-point spread for Alabama. Texas faces an uphill battle. I don't know where it stands. Could be close if Texas gets Bijan Robinson going. Yeah,
and Xavier Worthy and, of course, Quinn Ewers, their first-year starting quarterback. And we got a first-time guest on the show with us. But you hear him featured daily on the Chuck Oliver Show that you hear each and every day on 97.7 The Zone. He does a great job with covering the Texas Longhorns for Rivals.com and OrangeBloods.com. And he's been kind enough to join us for a few quick minutes. I know it's been a busy one for him, but Anwar Richardson is now going to join us and talk some Longhorns on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Anwar, welcome. You're with Drew and Scott in Huntsville, Alabama. How are you?
Man, you guys got me hungry. I want to be at this diner with you guys. So can I get on a plane today? I want some of that bacon that you guys are talking about. I'm sitting here just salivating. Listening to you guys talk this morning.
It's the hardest part about the show, and I got to ask you, look, we got football to get to. We got Texas. We got Alabama to get to. And, Texas is known for
barbecue,
larger than life things. Yeah. They have a pulled pork pancake stack where you get a pancake in between. It's pulled pork on top of another pancake, on top of more pork, on top of an egg. Is that something that would be fitting in Texas?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's everything bigger in Texas, so I mean
that's right.
That fits right in with everything Texas related, and just I guarantee you, from your Alabama fans who have traveled to Austin, I think that's going to be one of the great things of these an addition for Texas and the SEC is also being able to come to a cool city like Austin to have some really good food, and a lot of times you guys know what it's like on the road in the SEC. A lot of small towns, but you guys, when you guys get the Texas thing, good food, good eats, the big lakes that are out here. I guarantee everybody who calls you on Monday is going to say they enjoyed their time in Austin.
Well, the Alabama fans are already upset at your Texas fans because they're not allowing the band to come in or allowing them to sit up there in the top row. So it's already.
That thing happened. You know what? That happened to Texas a few years ago when they started to travel, and that's what people were doing to them, putting them up on the third level.
Yeah.
And I think the administrators in Texas say, wait a second, why are we accommodating everybody else when people are not accommodating us? And so they kind of decided to shift things. They used to be lower. Then in Texas, people say, okay, well, you know what? If this is how they're going to treat us, you know what? Maybe we'll stop being so nice. And so, yes, the band gets to sit up and change light bulbs in between sessions. And Alabama said they don't want any part of it.
Yeah, that's interesting, but they certainly want part of this matchup. It's going to be a great one.
Sure.
So many intriguing storylines with Sark and his time at Alabama, Kyle Flood, Jeff Banks, Bo Davis, A.J. Milwee. But what did you see that you liked, Anwar, in the first week, and what are your thoughts on the matchup? Because I know they weren't happy with how the first year went. It kind of turned after that blown lead against Oklahoma, and they never could get it back. But they played pretty well against Monroe, but this is going to be a different animal that they're going to be kind of measuring themselves against on Saturday.
Well, listen, as far as measuring is concerned, I've told Texas fans this. I've said this on radio, on my shows here. You don't measure yourself against Alabama. That's like trying to measure your basketball skills against Michael Jordan. Okay, you don't measure yourself. You measure yourself against next week. How do you respond versus UTSA or going on the road versus Texas Tech? Those are measuring sticks, right? You don't measure yourself against the number one team in the country. Listen, see everything. Listen, 20-point. Dog. They're 20-point dogs. This is definitely going to be, an uphill battle for Texas. We're talking about a Texas team that finished with 5 wins last season. Obviously, the big loss against Kansas last year. So it's very hard for any rational person to say to themselves, like, "Oh, well, this is upset kind of a game." Obviously, you guys know how much talent Alabama has, and you guys obviously know what good of a coach that Saban is. And regardless of who he has as assistants, he finds a way to keep that machine going and keep that thing going, over there at Alabama. So, did Texas look good in the opener versus Louisiana Monroe? Sure, that's what they're supposed to do, right? It's Louisiana Monroe. I don't expect none the less. And so, but to make a jump, when you've got Texas got 2 guys on the offensive line that are freshmen, good players, of course, with Kelvin Banks. Was a highly recruited 5-star. They've also got, Cole Hudson, who's also looking good. But, you're also talking about two freshmen against a veteran line. Who the hell blocks Will Anderson? Veterans can't block him. And so this is an offensive line that struggled last season. So I think in order for Texas to have any success against Alabama, I think that, you got to look to the opening script. I think Texas has got to strike first. And really try to put Alabama on the defense. I think Texas has got to get some things going in special teams. They've got to play perfect. I mean, they've got to play perfect in every aspect that's there, that's possible. Now, they've got a game plan that they feel good about, but it's kind of like the Mike Tyson quote about everyone's got a good game plan until they get punched in the mouth. We'll see what that game plan looks like. Sarkisian, is going to draw it up and do the best that he can, but the sounding, alarm bell is what Sarkisian said earlier this week, that, hey, no matter what happens in this Alabama game, he said, that's not going to affect our chances of competing for the Big 12 title. That, to me, was him saying, hey, Texas fans, just slow down on all your expectations, because usually that all our goals are still ahead of you kind of speech comes after a loss. Very few times I've ever seen it before you play a game. It's an uphill battle, but it'll be interesting for Sark, and it just to me the win for Texas. I'll say this: I think the win for Texas is not getting blown out, right? Not getting hurt. You're not having guys like Quinn Ewers, their 5-star quarterback, who's making a second start, get hurt, or Bijan, or any of those guys, get hurt. And being able to fight from start to finish. I think if Texas can do that, if they lose by 10 or so, 14, something to that effect, where it was supposed to win in the fourth quarter, I think that's a huge victory for Texas.
You look at it, and this Texas team last year, under the first year of Steve Sarkisian, they would get off to fast starts in games. They would have leads. They would lose leads in the fourth quarter. I mean, are we underselling this Texas team at all? I mean, are we just saying that there's no chance because it is top-ranked Alabama and they have so much? Or is this a case where Steve Sarkisian, they were so close last year to putting it together. Did they add any pieces to kind of bridge that gap to finish games?
Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't 100% just say Texas doesn't have a shot. Like, first and foremost, this is college football, right?
Yes.
So you guys have done college football for a long time. We know crazy things happen, and we know there's been plenty of games that we watched throughout history that we just thought, okay, that's just going to happen, and it doesn't, right? So, let's start from there. Look, they do have a good running back with Bijan Robinson. He's viewed as the number one running back in the country, okay? So, he's the consensus number one running back. They believe he's the future first-round pick from all the experts. So, having a guy like that and stopping a guy like Bijan is going to be something that you're sure Alabama's going to focus in on. But some of the things that you mentioned, Xavier Worthy, when you talk about that Oklahoma game, you guys, I'm not in front of my laptop, but if you go and look up that OU game for Xavier Worthy, I believe he had 250 yards receiving somewhere in that ballpark. He's a little thinner guy, so kind of like how Sark did extremely well with those small, skinny receivers that you guys seem to have at Alabama that just put up a billion yards. He's kind of in that mold. They do have a good receiver in the name of Jordan Whittington. And they also have Jatavian Sanders, who's a tight end, former 5-star tight end that had 80+ yards last week as a receiver. But he's emerged into a kind of a huge threat. They do have some speed and some big play potential, and they have a quarterback with Quinn Ewers, and yes, it's going to be his second start, and so he's going to get things and see things that he hasn't seen before. But he's a guy that many believe has a better arm than Casey Thompson did last season. And so because he's got a better arm, because of, those things, while he lacks experience, he also is the guy that you would hope for Sarkisian is probably going to put him in a place to succeed. And then from a defensive standpoint, the defense struggled last year, but they brought in Gary Patterson, the former TCU coach, as an analyst. And Gary has been working throughout the offseason for a game plan against Alabama. And again, Gary's big thing is defense. Like, that has been his specialty throughout his career, has been fielding really good defensive teams. And so if Gary Patterson is able to kind of scheme something, throughout this offseason that they be working on, then you say to yourself, you give Texas a chance. And then, of course, if anything crazy happens in special teams, which always ends up being those margins, and you guys know Jeff Banks is a good special teams coach, then yeah, you can talk yourself into that possibility. The problem is Alabama has so many dogs that are coming at you consistently. It's just hard to, can you keep that up for 4 quarters? To your point, Texas did well. They in the 3 games, they led by double digits heading into the fourth quarter, and they blew 3 of those leads. So that would be the thing is if Texas can get up, can they finish? But, will they start strong? Yeah, I would contend they probably would start strong. The question is, can they finish? That's going to be, I think the big test of them, big kind of barometer if they can do something like that.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Anwar, I don't know if you remember this game, but Alabama lost at home to Johnny Manziel in 12, and then 13, the Aggies started like a house of fire in College Station, but Alabama got it going and outscored them basically 49-42 to survive the game. We could see that happen if Texas plays at a very high level and Alabama doesn't play clean. And remember, A&M won the game last year because Alabama gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown, had a turnover, did not play clean football, and got some penalties and some pre-snap stuff. So Coach Saban was kind of talking about that at his show yesterday. Got to play clean and got to prove you can go out on the road. But this is a very experienced Alabama team. I think they've been looking forward to this challenge, and certainly they all respect Sark, but I think they understand what they've got to do. And I think this is going to be a message Alabama wants to send that, okay, Texas, you guys have a good program, but this is what SEC ball is going to be like when you're here in a couple of years.
Yeah, and I think, listen, if you're in Alabama, one of the other things that you want to send, not only a message to Texas, I think you also want to send a message to the people that you recruit inside the state of Texas.
Right.
Those kids that you come and get, hey, I know Texas is coming into the SEC, and that's the thing that we've been kind of using for recruiting advantage for Alabama to say, look, do you want to go to the Big 12? Like, nobody gets drafted out of there. Like, what kind of competition you're going to play there? And now Texas is being able to say to the Arch Mannings of the world, hey, listen, we've got the same thing those SEC schools have, and we also have the facilities, this and that. You'll be playing that same competition, same level competition. So I also think there's a benefit for Bama, for kids that they recruit inside the state of Texas, to say, yes, we know that Texas is coming. We know that's going to be the school that that everyone's talking about, and kind of that newcomer on the block, the kind of little flavor of the month. But this is still the reason why you want to come to Bama, because all we do is win. And if you can kind of say, hey, all we do is win, then I think that also helps as well as far as the motivation from the Alabama side.
What's the feeling there in Texas with the administration and everything, and how soon they will actually be in the SEC?
I think most people are optimistic that it's going to be no later than 2024. That seems to be the thing. Now we'll see what happens with the TV negotiations. But I think 2025. I think that's like the absolute worst case scenario. But with as the Big 12 starts negotiating their TV contracts, if there's a way for Texas to get out of this, and play a reduced penalty for leaving, then that's probably going to be something. It's going to be negotiated. But I would say 2024 would be the ideal spot. 2023, if everything kind of falls in place. But I think 2024 seems to be the realistic goal that everyone's looking at.
Well, enjoy the game. We definitely going to be watching from here in Alabama. There's going to be a lot of Bama fans. I've got friends headed down, and they're looking forward to being in Austin. It's going to be a great environment, great for college football, and we are really happy to add you to the 97.7 The Zone family. We appreciate your time, Anwar. We hope we can talk some Texas football with you again soon down the road, but thank you for the time, and let everybody know how to connect with your coverage.
Yeah, so two things. You guys can follow me on Twitter. Listen, Texas is going to be part of the SEC, so you need to know who you're going to follow for Texas football. You want to follow me on Twitter. It's really easy. It's Anwar Richardson, ANWAR Richardson. Follow me on Twitter. And secondly, though, next year when Texas comes to Alabama, I'm coming a day early because I want some of that breakfast food. So I'm going to be there for your remote. I'm crashing it. No, whether you guys want me or not. I'm coming.
You come up. It's on us.
Yeah,
you come up here, and it's on. We'll take care of you up here because that's.
We'll give you a pulled pork quesadilla with macaroni and cheese.
That's how we do things.
Give me that in a mimosa, and I'm going to be good to go.
Oh, they have endless mimosas here, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Like perfect. Say less.
Yeah, we're in.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anwar.
Okay.
Let's get that final break in. Brief, and I mean brief headlines next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's North Alabama Mortgage.
Southern Fidelity Mortgage. Think of them as a loan for everyone, offering more products than anyone else and the guaranteed lowest rates and costs in town. Of the 2,000 loans that Southern Fidelity Mortgage has pre-approved over the last 10 years, all but one have closed. That's unprecedented in the banking business. For FHA, VA, rural development, and conventional mortgages, for the best mortgage experience in town, it's Southern Fidelity Mortgage.
Call Southern Fidelity Mortgage Company at 256-656-5936.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. It is your tomorrow's headlines today. And if you are really trying to pay attention to headlines, you do have your college games, plenty of college games going on. If you're looking at the schedule tonight, you do get, as Jake Crane mentioned, Boise State, New Mexico, Louisville, and UCF. That is coming up tomorrow. Now, North Alabama, Alabama A&M, they are both in action tomorrow. North Alabama will be at home against UVA Wise. That is a 6
The
o'clock
home of
kick.
Kalen Lightford.
Yeah, ESPN Plus, Brawley Stadium. Home opener for our good friend Chris Willis and company there.
Man, heartbreaking the week and a half ago, man.
Yeah, it
so
was.
Close.
They went on the road at Indiana State, Terre Haute. They should have had that win there.
Yep.
Then Alabama A&M. They are on the road taking on our good friend John Sumrall and the Troy Trojans.
John playing against his hometown team, man, trying to get his first win. They competed hard against Ole Miss. They it was 28-10. I thought they represented themselves well. This will be an interesting test for them at home in his home opener.
Well, go John Sumrall and the Troy Trojans on that.
Oh yeah, we're all Troy Trojans. Watching our Huntsvillian become a big-time head coach, and certainly it's another hometown team for us. But we have a great relationship with John. We've watched him climb the ladder, and it would be really kind of poetic to get a win against your hometown team, your first W in your career.
It would. All right, so that is really your local college games that are going on. And I say local, I mean that is about as local as it can get. High school football, plenty of high school football going on tonight, and hopefully it doesn't rain. Hopefully the weather holds up, and we do get another night. Last night was beautiful for high school football. But your 7A big matchups, Albertville's going to travel to take on Sparkman. Sparkman had a shot to win last week against Austin, missed a field goal with time running out to win that one in regulation. They fall in overtime, so they're going to look to rebound. Huntsville playing host to James Clemens. Boy, oh boy, do the Jets need a win in a big way there. I mean, they are.
Yeah, they played a tough schedule.
Yeah.
They lost a close one to Gardendale and then went on the road to Mountain Brook.